I've came to realize that as much as you want some people to stay in your life, if you truly do want better for yourself, you just can't find yourself surrounding yourself with certain individuals. And what I mean by this is like some people, the energy that they give out, you just know it's bad energy. You know, it's different in a circumstance. If you're doing something that isn't good and this person's also mischievous and bad, then I guess you guys would feel as if though you guys were the right in the occasion. But I feel as if a good and a bad going together, you know, the good sees that that person is good, sorry, is bad, but the bad person sees that that person is bad. And the thing about it is the good wants to give that good energy, show people that you could be a good person as well, but the bad just wants to take. They want to take that good from you and they want to turn you into that evil rooted person that they are. If you're thinking about your future and what you want to do, certain people, I feel like if you try to look for far enough, you would have to realize certain people, they don't fit in that image that you're trying to grasp. And that's fine, you know, because one thing about people is some people are only meant, is that here on me? Some people, they're lessons. Some people, they're reasons, but some people's are lessons. Some people, they show us the person that we don't want to be. Some people make us want to do better for ourselves. But for the people who are just lessons, they they teach us things about ourselves. They teach us the person we don't want to be. They teach us about the things that we don't want to do. You know, but then there's the good people who make us want to do better for ourselves. They make you want to be more adventurous, more creative, look outside the box a little bit more. And you know, those people, their alignment, it makes sense. But it just depends. Like for me, for example, like I told you guys, I want to stop smoking, right? But the thing is, if I told myself I want to start smoking, but then I'm hanging around with smokers every day, you know, if you're just stopping something and then it's presented in front of you, you're going to be more inclined to say yes still. Because again, surroundings is everything. Me, I had to isolate myself for a little bit. I had to just sit in my little box in my room for a little bit because the friends I have, yeah, they do smoke. And you know, that's fine. I'm never hating on nobody's lifestyle. But for myself, it's not what I want for myself. So I know myself more than other people know me, of course, because it's me. And I'm able to tell myself that going there and being around that environment, it's going to make me want to do things that I know for my future self I don't want to do anymore. If I stopped and I was like on a roll of not smoking, yeah, of course I would be more inclined to say no. But you know, just stopping and something showing up in front of your door, you're not gonna be. It's gonna be a hard, resistant urge to say no. You know, because it's fresh. You know, that feeling is fresh, and you know, for me, with that same friend group, you know, I love them down. Like I love all my friends, but the thing is, the future that I'm looking for is not a future that involves that environment. And again, like they say, you know, your friends are a reflection of you. So if I got on here on YouTube every day and I said I'm not smoking, but then I made videos with my same friends and you watched them all smoke, you're probably gonna think like, oh, behind the cameras, that's what he's doing. And you guys wouldn't be wrong for thinking that either. It makes sense because again, the environment you're in, it means everything. And I mean it when I say it means everything. So again, you shouldn't feel bad for letting some people my voice is like breaking. You shouldn't feel bad for letting some people go, you know? You should never feel bad, you know. If you could say in the end you tried with this person, you tried to show them another light, you tried to show them the better part of life, then your work is done. Your work is done. And I've had to realize this many, many times. Just because the end goal that I was reaching I was not met with, that does not mean my efforts were for nothing. Because there's still going to be a click in that person's head, reminding them of that joy, that greatness that that they had standing beside them, that light that that person was going to show them. Because some people need to understand is those good people out there, there's not many of them, you know? There's some people who, when you're doing fucked up stuff, they're going to make you feel normal for doing that stuff. But then there's going to be those good people who are going to tell you shouldn't do that. That's not good. And it's going to make you second guess yourself. And that's the thing. Hard-headed people, they find themselves a lot around other hard-headed people because you're getting along with the person you are. Again, a good and a bad, you know, it's like a negative and a positive magnet. You know, they repel each other. You try your hardest to push them together, but no matter what, is it a negative and a positive, or is it a positive and a positive? Sorry, I don't really understand science, but whichever one it is, they repel each other, you know? Like, I think you guys understand the magnetism. Now I'm kind of going off topic because I fucked up a little bit and I was on a fucking spree. Fuck. But honestly, I really had to realize, as much as I wanted some people to stay, I just couldn't do it because the alignment, it wasn't there. And I know, guys, you can't say, well, people have their differences. Some differences, they can be settled, they can be understood. But it's a difference that I would never understand. To me, a bad will always be a bad, you know? There's nothing good that comes from that bad. There's nothing about the bad things that you're doing and saying that I could ever do to make it. There's nothing that I could do or think of to make that seem like it was okay, because it's not. And that's what we have to settle on. The fact that some things are not okay, and we can't sugarcoat things. We can't beat around the bush. We can't paint a picture over something that will always be that same picture. That bad will always represent bad. But the thing is, I believe people have potential. Anybody could be great, but it's about you wanting to do it for yourself. I could want it for you, but you have to want it more than I do, because this is something that comes from you. Something you want for yourself. We could want it together, but we is 50-50. We isn't 90% from me and 10% from you. It's never going to work like that. Never. So the last thing I'm going to have to say is, guys, some people, you have to let them go. And it's okay. Let it hurt. But one thing I've realized is that the less time spent with this individual will lessen the fall. Think of it like this. You guys spent a month apart and you guys break up. You know, you guys built a one story house in the meantime. So you falling off that house, it hurts, but it's not going to hurt as much. You spend a year with that person. Now you guys built a 12-story floor. Now you're falling off that 12-story. That hurt. You're going to remember it. And that's that difference. You falling, the 12 versus the 1. They both hurt, but which one hurts more? Exactly. That's all I have to say for today in my message stands. Some people are just meant to teach you things about yourself, and some other people are meant to inspire you. Figure out the difference and figure out what you want to do. And that's all I have to say for tonight.